sure that we remain fully seated throughout the duration of our trip today, and that we keep our hands, arms, feet, and legs fully inside the vehicle at all times. Now, is everybody able to understand me? Sorry, I'm losing my voice a little bit, so I have to whisper. But can everybody understand what I'm saying? Yeah? Awesome! Now, we just got the all clear from our warden, and we are heading on into the Little Aturi Forest. Now, the Little Aturi Forest is home to some of the shyer animals that live out here on the reserve, and they are very good at something called camouflage. Now, does everybody know what camouflage means?
Yes.
So they're super good at hiding and blending in with their environment. And oh, look, from the right. It's a little bit tricky to see, but can you see her back there?
Oh, yeah.
It's the okapi. Now, the okapi might look like they're related to the zebra because of those neat stripes that they have, but they're actually a relative of the giraffe. Now, the way you can tell that the okapi and the giraffe are related is because they both have a very similar bone structure. And they both share a very cool trait called a prehensile tongue. This means that they're able to use their tongues in the same exact way that we use our fingers in order to reach all the way up in the leaves and branches and grab down a snack to eat. Now, crossing the road right up ahead of us are two bongos. Now, the bongos are super neat as well. They're those reddish antelopes. Now, both the male and female bongos have those big horns on top of their head. And oh, look on your left, a black rhino. What? He's just out and about. Now, the black rhino is actually the smallest species of rhino that live out here on the reserve. And they only weigh about 3,000 pounds. So, you know, he's just a little guy, right? Only 3,000 pounds. He's teeny tiny. Now, hanging out with the black rhino, that big old bird with the saddle-billed stork. There's another one on our right. Let's see up on the lawn. Now, the saddle-billed storks can grow to be super tall. They can grow to be about 5 feet tall, and they can have a wingspan of roughly 9 feet, which, if you look at the canopy above our head, is just about the same length. Now, also hanging out with the saddle-billed storks, those big tan antelopes for the greater kudu. Now, the greater kudu are the second largest species of antelope that live out here on the reserve, and they are super good at camouflage. Those stripes that both the bongos and the greater kudu have actually mimic the effect of sunlight shining into any leaves or branches. So, if there's a greater kudu or a bongo hiding in some bushes or amongst some trees, it'll look like the sunlight is shining on through and like there's nobody there at all. Now, as we head on out of the Little Aturi Forest and into the Salfie River, let's keep an eye out for some of the more aquatic species of animals hanging out here on the reserve. And oh, I can see some already. Coming up on our right-hand side are some pink-backed pelicans and a Nile hippopotamus taking a nap. Look at them napping down there. Now, does anybody know why the pink-backed pelicans are called the pink-backed pelicans? Any guesses? Pink-backed pelican, where did that name come from? It's because they have a pink back. Whoa, that's so crazy! How'd you know? Now, the pink-backed pelicans get their name from that pink back that they have, which gets a whole lot brighter during mating season, almost like the pelicans are blushing. Now, pink-backed pelicans are something called colonial nesters. This means that they return to the same spot year after year to nest. Now, a colonial nest of pink-backed pelicans is anywhere from 50 to 500 pairs of pelicans in it. So that is a whole bunch of pelicans in one big colonial nest. And oh brother, coming up on our left, those definitely are not pelicans. They look like logs, but I promise you, they're not. It's the Nile crocodile. Now the Nile crocodile has the strongest bite of any animal out here on the reserve. They have a bite strength of around 2,000 pounds of pressure per square gone into mom or dad's mouth in order to stay nice and safe. Now, this big old tree on our right hand side is called the Baobab tree. Wow! Now, the Baobab tree is also known as the tree of life. But for the tree of life, that tree sure does look like it's missing something, doesn't it? Leaves! It doesn't have any life on it. Now, this lack of leaves is something very important, and it helps the Baobab tree to conserve or to save water. Now, the Baobab tree is super duper good at conserving water. So good in fact that other animals living out here on the reserve are actually able to go up to the Baobab tree and grab a drink from it. Animals like African elephants will actually use their tusks to poke holes in the Baobab tree and grab a drink. So, if we see a Baobab tree coming up covered in holes, chances are there's probably a thirsty elephant that's nearby. Let's see. Now those gray fellas hanging out on our right are the wildebeest, and if we look on the left, they're in a little bit of a tricky spot. But can you see them lying down in the cave? Look for those little spots of white. Now those are the African painted dogs. Now, despite being called dogs, the African painted dogs are actually a separate branch of the canine genus, or a different kind of dog. So you know how dogs that we have at home will communicate through barking? Painted dogs actually communicate through a series of chirps. And they'll do little chirps back and forth in order to convey any messages that they may have. Now also hanging out over on the right is a Maasai giraffe and some sable antelopes. Now the way we can actually tell that that giraffe is a Maasai giraffe is going to be through the shape of their patches. We're going to get a little bit closer to this giraffe over here. But you'll notice how the patches on this giraffe have a rough edge around them. Now, this rough edge is how we're able to differentiate or tell apart the Maasai giraffe from their counterparts, the reticulated giraffes, whose patches have a smooth edge around them. Now, giraffes can grow to be anywhere from 16 to 20 feet tall. And when a baby giraffe is born, they're born at about 6 feet tall, which is almost as tall as I am. So that's one big baby. Speaking of babies, hanging out over on our left-hand side as well are about 4 baby Hartman's mountain zebras. They're all hanging up on the hill over there. For the past couple of days, they've been digging a hole up on the hill. I'm not entirely sure what they're up to. They like to hang out right over there. Now, these are the Hartman's mountain zebras. And the Hartman's mountain zebras are actually a smaller species of zebra. And they have teeny tiny pointed hooves. Now, these teeny tiny pointed hooves allow the zebras to easily navigate through the mountainous terrain that they like to live in. Now, a group of zebras when they're all together like this is called a dazzle. A dazzle of zebras. This is because when they're all together in one big group, the stripes will create kind of like an optical illusion that gives the effect that the zebras are sparkling. Looks like we have another mama and her baby right here. And oh my goodness, look at all the Springboks up on the hill. Aren't they so cute? Now, Springboks might be teeny tiny, but they are fully grown. When they get startled, they do something really neat called pronking. Pronking is when a Springbok will do a big old jump. They can jump about 5 feet up in the air and 13 feet across in the air from a standing position. So they are amazing jumpers. We're gonna get another really good view of them in a second. Oh, look at how cute they are. Look like they're like framed in the trees over there. Now, also coming up ahead on our left-hand side is a baby Maasai giraffe. Can you see him grabbing the sack? Now, you see this cow with the big old horns? He's a little bit too close to the edge of the road for me to be able to stop over here for the baby, but we can just drive super slowly by him. grabbing a snack, Bo. Isn't he so sweet? There we go. Now we can stop for the baby. Now, these cows with the big old horns are the Ankole cattle. And you guys might be thinking, those horns are huge. They must be really heavy, right? Well, the Ankole cattle's horns are actually very light. They are hollow and filled with a honeycomb-like structure of blood vessels, which helps to keep the cows nice and cool throughout the day. Have you guys ever been lying in bed at night with all the covers on? You just kind of like take a leg out to help yourself cool down. It's kind of like what the Ankole cattle's horns do for them. Although speaking of staying nice and cool, like we're flooded, you guys might want to watch your socks. Are you ready? Here we go. Ah, okay, we're good. No wet socks, right? None. Hello? Did you guys see that giraffe in the road up ahead of us? What? Oh, this is so cool. On our left-hand side are a whole bunch of African elephants. And hanging out on the right is a Maasai giraffe. Now this giraffe is so close to the edge of the road. So just gonna try and drive. Oh my goodness.
Hey, I'm just going for Warthogs. Did you want to see me again?
And an eland on the right. Let's see. She is. She's so baby. And it looks like we also have a whole bunch of rhinos in the road up ahead of us as well. So we're just gonna sneak so slow and so careful until we make that little hiding animal treats in their pocket. You can be honest with me. Isn't that so cool? Now, these are the white rhinos. And you guys might be thinking, Charm, what do you mean white rhino? They don't look white at all. And you'll be right, they're not. The white rhinos actually get their name from a mistranslation. The Afrikaans word for wide, like their wide, flat mouth, is white. When settlers came to Africa and they heard the word white rhino, they got a little bit confused. I thought that people were saying white rhino. So the original name for the white rhino is the white rhino. That wide, flat mouth that they have. Look, on your left, cheetahs. There's 3 of them lying down. Can you see them? Now the cheetahs are the fastest land mammals. They can go from 0 to 60 miles an hour in just about 3 seconds. Now, the cheetahs have a really neat trait that allows them to do this. Just the fact that they have non-retractable claws. This means that the cheetah's claws will actually stay out 24/7 in order to help them to grip the ground and gain traction as they run. Now, cheetahs also do all of their hunting during the daytime, and they have a really neat trait for this as well. Just the fact that they have a black ring around their eye. What this black ring around their eyes does is it helps to absorb sunlight. The same exact way that you and I can wear our sunglasses to keep our eyes nice and cool and protected, the cheetahs have that black ring around their eyes to keep their eyes nice and cool and protected. Now, also hanging out over on our right-hand side are some waterbucks. Now, waterbucks are super neat because they actually secrete oil from their fur, which makes them semi-hydrophobic or partially water repellent. So the same exact way that water can beat up and roll off of our raincoats or our rain boots, it will for the water bugs. I love warthogs so much. Now, the warthogs are Africa's largest burrowing animals. Aww. Go back into their burrows, and they'll have their little tusk sticking out the front as a form of self-defense. Look at her playing in the mud. Don't they look like they have little wigs on? Now, warthogs are omnivores, which means that they will eat just about anything. And whoa, on your right, look, ostriches. Those ostriches sure do look like they're protecting something, don't they? There's only one thing I think an ostrich would want to protect, and that's its eggs. And whoa, look, there they are. On the right, ostrich eggs, and they're huge. What? No, I must have just laid those. Does anybody know how many chicken eggs inside an ostrich egg? It's more than 10. 12's really close. What's 12 times 2? 24. So 24 chicken eggs are inside one ostrich egg. And 0 ostrich eggs inside a chicken egg. Now, we're heading up on some of my personal favorite animals. Don't tell anybody. It's the Nigerian dwarf dogs. Look at them. Oh, look at them on the rock. They're best friends. Now, the Nigerian dwarf goats might be teeny tiny, but they are fully grown. If you guys have your phone, I'd definitely take a picture of that. That's adorable. They have one stomach with 4 chambers, and this one stomach with 4 chambers allows them to digest just about anything. Although, it looks like our journey is coming to an end, my friends. Aww! I had so much fun hanging out with you guys today. Did everybody get to see some cool animals? Yeah? Well, I hope that you guys got to not just see all of these amazing animals, but you also remember their stories. Because sadly, a lot of the animals living out here are in danger. So they might not be around for too much longer. If you guys would like to help out, you can make a donation to the Disney Conservation Fund at any merchandise location in the park. Every donation made will be matched dollar per dollar by the Disney Corporation. And you'll also get a snazzy new pin out of it. Now, here on the Homestead Wild Messages, we don't like to say goodbye. It sounds so sad and so final. Those of you guys are my favorite Swahili word, which is kwaherini. And kwaherini means to go well. Once again, my name is Charm, just like the bracelet. Thank you guys so much for coming out here and hanging out with me today, guys. And kwaherini. I hope that all of you guys get to go well and have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
I'll be dropping you off right over here.